The OnePlus 8 is the new kid on the smartphone block, and while it may not be as affordable as previous phones by OnePlus, its starting price of just $700 makes it stand out in a good way in a company of Samsung phones and iPhones that cost north of $1,000. And while we're still working on our in-depth review, we have just completed our extensive battery testing for the OnePlus 8, and it's time to take a look at the battery life and how it compares against the most popular flagships. We have lined up a whopping 7 phones in this comparison, and if you think testing the battery of 7 phones took a long time, you are right, so please don't hesitate to drop a like and subscribe if you want to see even more battery tests in the future. We have first the OnePlus 8 with its 4300 mAh battery, and then we have the Galaxy S20 family, starting with the compact Galaxy S20 which has a 4000 mAh battery, then the Galaxy S20 Plus which has a 4500 mAh battery, and finally the big and bad Galaxy S20 Ultra which has a massive 5000 mAh battery cell, the biggest among all of the phones in this comparison. Next we have the 3 iPhones as well, the iPhone 11 Pro Max with its nearly 4000 mAh battery, the small iPhone 11 Pro with its 3050 mAh battery cell, and the cheaper iPhone 11 which has a 3100 mAh battery. We have all of the phones charged up and ready, and we have set the brightness level on each of them at the exact same level using a color calibration device as we have always done in the past 10 years or so that we've been testing battery life. So let's kick this thing off, shall we? First we started our browsing test that we're running at 60Hz on all of the phones. In this test the phone will load web pages and scroll up and down just like you would in real life. What you're seeing on your screen right now is not the actual test but a simulation to show you what it looks like. And the reason you're not seeing the actual run is that it takes more than 10 hours, and we have run it a couple of times on each of the phones to ensure the results are correct. So with this in mind, the first phone that dies on this test is the iPhone 11 Pro. The compact iPhone lasts 8 hours and 41 minutes, and that's quite a big improvement from previous small iPhones, but still not nearly as good as the rest in this comparison. The test will keep on going for a couple more hours before the next phone dies, and in fact it goes way over 10 hours. Exactly 11 hours and 25 minutes into the test, the iPhone 11 is next by the dust. Let's keep on going. At this point in time, all of the phones are very low on the battery meter, but the next in line is the compact Galaxy S20 model. It lasts 12 hours and 12 minutes, a very good score for such a small phone. And just a few minutes later, at 12 hours and 15 minutes, the OnePlus 8 also bites the dust. This is excellent showing for the OnePlus 8 that joins the company of long-lasting phones. Next, at 12 hours and 23 minutes into the test, the Galaxy S20 Ultra also dies, scoring just a few minutes over the OnePlus 8. This shows you how little difference there is between the phones at this point. And we now have only 2 phones left to compete for the title in this round: the iPhone 11 Pro Max and the Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus. The Galaxy S20 Plus cannot quite match up and finally dies at the 12 hour and 40 minute mark, leaving the iPhone 11 Pro Max to win this round with a score of 12 hours and 53 minutes. Those optimizations and the bigger battery definitely helped the iPhone in a big way. So to sum it all up, all of these phones did great, maybe with the exception of the compact iPhone 11 Pro. The rest all went over 11 hours, which is an excellent score in our books. Take a look at this chart once again. It sums up the scores for all of the phones. You can pause it and you can see better the differences. This is not all, however, far from it. We have rerun this same test with the higher refresh rate option on the phones that support it. This means that in the second run, we have the OnePlus 8 running at 90Hz and the Galaxy S20 series set at 120Hz. The iPhones are not running because they don't support higher refresh rates, they only run at 60Hz. And these higher refresh rates change things quite a bit, and you'll see the battery draining much faster this way, especially for the Samsung Galaxy S20 series. Keep in mind that we have the Exynos models and not the Snapdragon ones. The numbers might be slightly different for those Snapdragon versions. And the first phone to die with the higher refresh rate enabled is the compact Galaxy S20. It lasts 7 hours and 45 minutes. That is a huge decline over the 60Hz score. Let's remind you that with 60Hz, the phone lasts 12 hours and 12 minutes on the very same test. This is a decline by nearly 40%. This could definitely make you switch back to 60Hz just to get that decent battery life. and it seems like something is wrong with the 120Hz option and its effect on battery life with Samsung phones. The Galaxy S20 Plus lasts 8 hours and 30 minutes with the 120Hz option. This is again a huge decline over the 60Hz run, when it lasted an impressive 12 hours and 40 minutes and was actually tied for the win. The 120Hz option drops your battery life by more than 30% here. Next in line is the Galaxy S20 Ultra. Despite its huge battery, the 120Hz option drains it rather quickly too, and it dies in 9 hours and 40 minutes. In 60Hz mode, it scored 12 hours and 23 minutes, so that again is a huge difference. All of this makes me think that Samsung should have really considered adding a midway 90Hz option, like OnePlus. And just see what OnePlus is doing. The OnePlus 8 keeps on going, while the Galaxies are long dead. It finishes its 90Hz run with a score of 11 hours and 6 minutes, an hour less than it would last with the 60Hz option. That however is not a big difference, it's to the tune of just 10%, and if you ask me, I would definitely prefer using it at 90Hz if the trade-off is not that big. Okay, we have the results for browsing the web, but what if you watch a lot of video? This is what our next test is all about, YouTube video streaming. Now we have once again lined up all of the phones fully charged up, and we will be running them from 100% to completely dead, and once again all phones are set at the same brightness level before this test started to ensure an equal playing field. We're running the same playlist of videos on all of the phones, and we let the test run for exactly 6 hours and 27 minutes when the iPhone 11 Pro is once again the first phone to die. This is not a bad showing, but definitely not as good as the rest. The test will run for a while more, and at the 7 hour and 13 minute mark, the iPhone 11 is next to bite the dust. It outlasts the iPhone 11 Pro by quite a while. So which phone will be the next one to die? We have to wait quite a bit more. Bigger phones with bigger batteries definitely last more here. The iPhone 11 Pro Max is next in line. Its battery is completely drained in 8 hours and 58 minutes. And this is interesting. We don't know if Google is making some special optimizations to YouTube on Android, but iPhone batteries don't seem to last as long as their Android counterparts here. Let's keep on going. Next in line is the OnePlus 8. It scores a respectable 9 hours and 37 minutes on this test. Excellent showing for the newest OnePlus, but still not quite as good as the Galaxy S20 series that just keep on going. The Galaxy S20 Plus is the first Galaxy to see its battery drained with YouTube video streaming, but even it scores 9 hours and 53 minutes. It's nearly 10 hours of continuous YouTube video playback. Impressive stuff. The compact Galaxy S20 was going hand in hand with the Plus model, but at the end scored a bit more at 10 hours and 20 minutes. Again, a huge result for such a tiny phone. And finally, the last one standing on this test is the Galaxy S20 Ultra, which lasted a full 10 hours and 30 minutes and is our YouTube battery life champ. Good job, Samsung. And here once again is a recap of the YouTube video streaming test scores for all of the phones. You can pause it and see the differences in closer detail. Last but definitely not least, we have a special test for the gamers out there, 3D gaming. We test using games that load up the graphics chip on a phone, and while we don't test super intensive battles and scenes, you do get an idea about how the phones perform and the differences. Again, all phones are set at the same brightness level, fully charged, and let's get this thing going. Keep in mind that on your screen you're seeing a simulated run and not the actual test run, because we have run it a couple of times to ensure the results are correct. And you won't be surprised by the first phone that dies here. It's again the iPhone 11 Pro with a score of 6 hours and 38 minutes. The compact iPhone has improved from the past, but still lasts way less than the other popular phones. What's surprising, however, is the next phone in this list, the iPhone 11 Pro Max. It lasted 7 hours and 30 minutes for 3D gaming. So why is that? Well, the higher resolution might be to blame here. Let's keep on going with this test. Next in line is the regular iPhone 11, which interestingly outlasted the Pro series for 3D gaming with a score of 7 hours and 37 minutes. This higher score is due to the lower resolution of the phone, which definitely helps it with gaming battery load. So just a few minutes after the iPhone 11, the Galaxy S20 bites the dust. It scores 7 hours and 50 minutes for 3D gaming, again quite good for a compact phone. Compare this to the iPhone 11 Pro and you'll see that the Galaxy is definitely the longer lasting phone, something to keep in mind for the gamers out there. We have to wait a full hour more to see the next phone die, as those bigger Android phones are very resilient. That's a good thing. The Galaxy S20 Plus ranks 3rd in this test with a score of 8 hours and 42 minutes, quite impressive. So with this, we have two phones left running on the table, the Galaxy S20 Ultra and the OnePlus 8. Which one will win this round? Well, fast forward and the Galaxy S20 Ultra dies first, with 9 hours and 12 minutes on the clock. My oh my, we have a new champion, and that is the OnePlus 8, which lasts exactly 10 hours and 16 minutes. The combination of the Snapdragon 865 chip and a great thermal design make the OnePlus 8 an absolute monster for gaming, and it deservedly gets the #1 spot. Congratulations OnePlus! While speaking about 3D gaming, we have to mention that many of the games that we tested still don't support the new higher refresh rates. That's why we tested at 60Hz. That's important to keep in mind. And once again, let's recap all of the scores to better see the differences between the phones. We will also quickly show you once again the results from the browsing test and the YouTube test, and once again the 3D gaming test. Pause them and inspect them in detail if you want to know the exact numbers and the exact differences. So overall, what are the conclusions? Now, the big loser in this comparison is the compact iPhone 11 Pro model. It was a huge upgrade from the XS in terms of battery life, but that doesn't speak good about the XS. So the iPhone 11 Pro finished last in every one of our tests here and just won't last as much as others. As for the overall winner, well, the iPhone 11 Pro Max won the browsing test, the Galaxy S20 Ultra won the YouTube video test, and the OnePlus 8 won the 3D gaming test. Overall though, if you look at the results closely, it seems like the Galaxy S20 Ultra, with its gigantic 5000 mAh battery, is the big winner, especially if you skip on that trendy but extremely battery-hungry 120Hz refresh rate option. The OnePlus 8 is definitely in the top tier of battery performance as well, though not quite at the very top. And this is about it for our epic smartphone battery life comparison with the OnePlus 8. It's an absolutely stellar phone. Stay tuned for our OnePlus 8 review and camera comparison that will be coming soon. Drop us a like if you enjoyed this battery comparison, it means a lot to us, and subscribe to see even more. Most importantly, stay safe as much as possible in these challenging times. My name is Vic, this is PhoneArena, and I will talk to you in the next one.